All right, welcome everyone. My name is Kate with Scholar Marketing. Today I'm going to be going over the command website setup. Bear with me a little bit today if I pause. I'm getting over a little bit of a cold, so if I do have to pause or mute for a second, just bear with me. Um, but let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing you want to do is jump into your command platform, agent.kw.com. This is where you will access and set up your website. We do have people who sometimes reach out to us. They are trying to sign into their website on their physical website to make changes. There is a login. However, this login is for consumers, so you will not have an agent login to make any edits using that sign in. You can, of course, create a login, but there is no edit or agent features that you can access through this platform, okay? Um, all right, so back to command. Once you're signed in, you'll see a screen similar to mine. I always mention yours can look a little bit different. You can customize this home screen just a little bit based on what's important to you. So if you're seeing something different, that is okay. Um, First thing that we want to take a look at is going to be under the drop down next to your name, okay? So if you click on that little drop down and you come down to My Profile. Now, there is not many things from this profile that are pulling to your KW website. However, we do believe that some of the languages spoken, service areas are pulling from this website, or from this profile. If you are updating your bio, if you are updating your headshot, these do not pull to your website. So if you're updating them here, they are not going to update on your physical site, okay? Um, I think this is Scott's about. The pages change a little bit, but you'll see that some service areas and things pull down here in languages. We believe those are pulling from the My Profile. Okay, so if you want to make sure those are up to date on your About the Agent page, again, only the About the Agent page, you do want to make sure that those are updated right here in your My Profile. Okay, so come into this profile, go ahead and hit Edit. You can scroll down to Languages. You can select from a ton of different languages here to add. So there's a ton of different options. For service areas, you can add a city, state, or zip code or neighborhood. Okay, so you can add any of those service areas using any of that information. Once you're done, go ahead and hit Save Changes. All right, once we are done with that, again, just those two little areas that we like to highlight. You can also, of course, update your specialties and designations, but there is a space for that in the profile that primarily pulls to your website. All right, so once those are updated, we're going to go ahead and go back to our home page of Command. And once we do that, we're now going to head into websites. Okay, so your applets are going to be on the left-hand side menu bar. You can hover over those icons to find the one you're looking for. You can also hit this red and white KW in the top left corner. That will allow you to expand that menu bar and view all of those at once. Okay, now we're going to head straight into the website's applet. Okay, so the very last option. Alrighty, now that we are here, oftentimes you will see that it says preview not available. You don't have to worry about that as long as you can click launch website and your website is active. You don't have to worry too much about the preview, okay? If your website is not set up yet, it should take you through the prompts to update and create that. If you already have your site created and you need to set up some additional changes or edit that, you're going to come into Manage Settings on the right-hand side of this screen, okay? So we're going to go ahead and click there. Now, once we are there, we're brought into a profile. This used to be the old marketing profile that could be found under your settings. It has found a new home here in the website's applet. So you can now edit all of those details here within the website's applet. This profile is the one that feeds all of the information to your website, to your branded consumer app, to various different marketing pieces throughout the command platform. So this is, in my opinion, the absolute most important profile to make sure is up to date and accurate at all times. Um, you'll see that you have a bunch of different sections to this profile. Each section over here on the left, you will want to save individually. Um, if you don't save each section, it's not going to update those changes. So each section will need to be saved. The first one is your contact information. That will be your phone number, office phone number. If there is a fax number, your email, preferred email. This does not have to be your KW email. Your website. Once your website is set up, you do want to come back and edit this to add that full subdomain or URL to this section, okay? That helps with other marketing materials and things like that within your command platform if that is here. Do not include a www. The websites do not work with www. Most websites do not need that anymore. So you want to make sure not to include that. It will cause your website to error. Moving down, you have your Market Center specific details. Okay, so this is going to be your Market Center specific logo. It's going to be your Market Center name, phone number, license number, address, etc. If you're not sure where to find your Market Center specific logo, I can walk you through that. You're going to simply go to Command. Once you're in Command, you're going to click on Connect in that very top banner. And once you click that, you're going to just hit the search bar and click logos. Once that loads, you should see logos and branding, and you're going to go ahead and click on that one. And from there, you're going to click the giant red image that pops up at the top of your screen. Go ahead and click that. And then you're going to scroll down until you find Market Center logos. There's going to be a link right here that you can click. It's going to redirect you to a Google Sheet. This is going to allow you to search for your Market Center, download all of the available logos. I want to point out it is not numerical, it is not alphabetical. I do find the easiest way to search for an office is the Control F on your keyboard. Once you do that, you can search for any office. Let's just go ahead and do 65. We'll go ahead with this first one. If this is not the one you're looking for, then go ahead and use the arrows. That will switch you to the next one until you find the one you are looking for. Now, once you find the office you're looking for, you can confirm the name, the number, as well as preview that logo. You can make sure that's the correct one you're looking for. And once you make sure that's correct, you'll also have a download link, okay? You can click that and download an entire folder to your computer. And let me just switch this really quick so you guys can see what I'm doing here. All right, so now that I have that folder, I'm going to go ahead and open it up. We're going to extract. Oh, here it is. We're going to go ahead and extract those. Once that is done, we're going to go ahead and open that folder. You'll have two folders we're primarily going to look at. You'll have the black and white and the CMYK. If you take a look at those, you're going to see you have different logo colors, options, formats, white background. You also have a transparent background, so you can use those logos, okay? You'll also have the CMYK, again, with the different colors and formats, okay? I'll go ahead and drop this link for this spreadsheet in the chat for you guys. Uh, Quick little disclaimer, if you are not finding your logo or your Market Center on this spreadsheet, not every office is listed on here. If you are not seeing yours, reach out to your Market Center staff. They'll be able to provide you with a logo. We do also find that not every office has every color and format option available. Whatever is available in your folder is what is available for your office. We believe that's just due to certain compliance and state laws, so just keep that in mind. All right, but that is where you can then come and add your Market Center logo. Once all of this contact information is completed, again, go ahead and hit that save. You want to save and see that they were saved under each section. Moving down, you have your photo. This is where you can add your headshot. It's also where you can add a team logo. Um, Team logo is not required. However, there is different marketing within the command platform that will pull this logo, even if you do not have one. And if you do not have one, it can appear as a broken image. So, a couple of alternatives to make sure that doesn't happen. You can add a secondary photo here of yourself. You can add a generic KW logo, which can also be found under that link. You can find those down at the bottom. Or if you've branded yourself as a solo agent or a team, you can, of course, add those logos there as well. Your headshot, once it is added, you can crop that to make sure it is the appropriate size and that nothing is cut off or cropped out of your photo. Once you're all set there, again, hit that save button. Make sure those those updates were saved. Moving down, you have your details. You're going to want your name, of course, your license number, not required, but certain marketing will pull this. So if you don't have it, you may see errors. So when it comes to this profile, more is better. Go ahead and add your license number. Add your professional job title. If you're not on a team, you can leave that one blank. If you have a slogan, designations, and credentials, you can add those here. If you have any military affiliations you'd like to highlight on your profile, even supporter, patriot, family member, all can be added here. And then lastly, your bio. You can come here and add your bio. Now, again, this one will pull to your About Me page, and you have to edit it here, okay? It cannot be edited on the actual website. So come into here and make those changes, and then go ahead and hit save. Next is preferences. These are things that are going to be turned on or off for either your website or your website and your consumer app. They kind of are linked together. So the first one is displaying your Keller Home Loans app on your app and site. Displaying Keller covered on your app and site. You can see those when you go to your website. You should be able to click on a listing. And you can see those details right here. Okay, so you can turn those off if you don't want them to be used. You can just disable them. You also have displaying neighborhoods on your agent's site. Okay, those neighborhoods are going to be these like blue lines that identify specific neighborhoods. You can also disable those if you choose to do so. Close some of these because we're getting a little carried away. Once those are edited how you'd like, go ahead and hit save. Next is service areas. This one is a little bit newer. It's been a little finicky lately, so let's see if it will load. We won't spend too much time if it doesn't. We do have a tip video. If it doesn't load, I can share with you guys. But it is a newer and it's just a little bit slow. We'll give it another second. Okay, we'll come back. I'll also drop that video in the chat before the end of the class if you guys want to learn how to edit that. Next is your legal footer and compliance. Okay, this will appear on your KW website at the very bottom. You'll see it down here in this section. It's actually more of like, whoops, from here to here. So you have the option to add legal footer links, yes, links, legal footer images. I'm not sure why it says links again. And then compliance, any legal footer text, okay? Some offices do require certain things to be added. If you're not sure if your office is one of those, you can reach out to your Market Center staff. They'll be able to provide you any specifics that need to be included on your website, okay? As you can see on the website here, whoops, if I can get to the right one, you have your links. Whoops. I'm clicking too much. I'm so sorry, you guys. Moving too quick for myself. You have your links showing first. You then have the text, and then you have those images. So again, if you need to have any of those included, you can do that right here. Once that's done, hit that save button. Moving down, we have socials. These are going to be your social media links. You'll want to grab them as you are viewing your profile like a consumer would, so your public-facing URL. It is best to do on a computer because you can grab the URL from your browser, uh, but you can add those here. So Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and X. All of those can be added. They will then be linked with your website. You'll see them on your About Me. You'll see them on your main page. They'll be by your contact information. So they appear in multiple different places just to make them easily accessible. Again, hit that save button when you're done. Referral links. This is where you can come to find your consumer app link, okay? It cannot be customized, it cannot be changed, but you can come here to find it so that you can share it. If you are on a team, like Scott is here, you'll also see some team links. You'll see the team name, the team website URL, the team app URL, and then the team member app URL. Okay, again, those can't be customized, but you can come here and copy them so you can share them. Moving down, forced registration. This one does apply specifically to your website. If you would like to require someone to sign in or create an account under that login, you can force them to do that, okay? Only when they're viewing listings, so it's only listing specific. You can leave it as unlimited. They can view as many properties as they would like to. You can change that to only 10 properties, 2 properties, or absolutely none. Now, there is a workaround for consumers on this if they are viewing from a different browser, different device, if they're using incognito. So it is not a guarantee that they will register. However, many people will. And that notifies you of those interactions when they're creating an account, logging into an account, or looking at properties on your website. So you can adjust that here. Hit that save button when you're done. And then lastly, if you need to adjust your subdomain, this one comes in handy if maybe someone got married and needs to change that subdomain to have their new last name, or maybe they've created a team or an LLC or something, you can certainly come here and adjust your subdomain, okay? Once you change that, you can hit that claim and it will let you know if it's available or not. And then there is the deactivate site. Stay away from this button unless you are leaving Keller Williams. Maybe you are only using a third-party website or something like that. You will lose any personal custom content or data that is added to the site. So just definitely stay away from this unless you 100% are sure you want to deactivate that. Okay. Alrighty. That is your settings and your profile. Again, that one feeds all of those details to your website. So super important to get that one updated. You have some KW answers here. These are just going to be like articles that can help you learn how to do things. But we're going to move into this manage website. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click that. And we're still in command. Now, I just want to point out we are still in command here. There is expert mode. We're not going to take a look at this too much, but we will bounce into it at the very end of class. Expert mode, once it loads, looks more like this, okay? This is more of, you could do a lot more enhancements and customizations within this section. When you're editing your KW website here in command, the changes that you can make are very minimal. They're very surface level and basic edits. So if you are looking to make additional changes, you'll want to go into that expert mode. But we're going to primarily hang out here today and go over the different things you can do here. Jamil, I'm going to come back to your question. Just give me a few minutes. I just want to make sure we get through stuff, and I want to make sure I'm understanding your question correctly. All right, so when we are in command and we are making some edits to our website, you can view how that will look on the different devices. It will look different. If you set up a custom domain on your, or a custom navigation on your website, you're not going to see it on the different devices unless you click the little hamburger to view those, okay? There's no way to adjust that, so just know that that is going to happen depending on the device they're viewing your website. But you should see a preview here. On the left-hand side, you'll have a couple of options. You have pages, add content, and design studio. We're going to go through all of these, starting with the pages. Now, the only page that you can edit here in Command is the home page, okay? So we're going to go ahead and click on that one. And that can always change. They can always adjust that at some point, but currently you can only edit your home page. Now, when you're editing your homepage, there are 3 layouts that you can choose from, okay? When you select a layout, it's going to determine the different page sections you are going to see here to edit, okay? They can all be edited here. Again, surface level edits, but what you see here is going to be determined by the layout that you choose, okay? Now, if we come here, we have 3 different layouts, okay? We have the search layout, which is your default. You have the hero layout, and you have the brand layout, okay? Now, the first one is the default. I'm going to go ahead and select this so we can see it all together. It's going to actually give you a preview, so it can take a minute to kind of load. We'll just give it a second to stop spinning. Once that loads, you'll see the preview. We're going to go ahead and apply so we can see it on this other screen, and also so we can see our page sections. So when you select the search layout, you're going to have the banner at the top. You're going to have featured properties. You're going to have testimonials right below that, and then you're going to have blog articles. Okay, so right here. Now, if we switch that to hero, we're going to select. Again, we're going to give it a second, apply. When you are in the hero layout, you're going to have a banner, which is this top banner where the hero image is. You're going to then have stats. You can customize those. You're going to have featured links. You'll have featured properties, and you will then have testimonials, okay? Now, again, these can be customized. You can rearrange them, just not here in this command. You'd have to be in expert mode. Now, if we go back and select the final option of the layouts, which is brand, just a second, apply. Maria, we are in manage website under the websites. So, whoops, I can't get there from there. I can always go back later at the end of class if you need help. And the brand layout, okay, so you have the banner. It looks a little different. It has the About Us. The last one didn't. You have featured links. Again, you can customize those links. You have stats. You have featured properties, and then you have testimonials, okay? And you can come through these and edit them, okay? So once you select your layout, you can come into your banner. You can edit the title. Let's find your dream home. You can change the hero image, whether you want photos or a video. We strongly recommend, or we recommend, not strongly, but we recommend Pexels if you are looking for videos or photos. It is a great resource to find those. I always type real estate. You can find a ton of different videos. You could probably search something more local to you if that's what you're looking for, but you can come here and find a ton of different aerial videos and things like that that you can then plug in here using YouTube, Vimeo, or just uploading it from your computer, okay? You have the content button. You can change that. If you want to go back to the search bar, if you want the custom button that is here, if you want none. It's currently sent to the About Us, okay? So you can change that. Button link, you can add that URL if you want it to go somewhere else. It's currently directing to the About Us page, so the About Me. Once we've edited our banner, go ahead and hit publish. You always have to publish any changes that you made to make sure they are updated on that site, okay? Moving down, you have your featured links. From here, you can edit these links that are appearing in this section. You can change the title, the image, the URLs, or internal pages that are pulling, so you can customize all of these, okay? Again, Once you've customized those links that you would like displayed, hit that publish button to publish those. Next is stats. Again, you can change the title, the description that appears. You can edit the different stats that are appearing and the details that are there. You can also remove one if you have too many or more than you'd like. You can change the button that is pulling. Once we go back, I also want to point out you have a little eyeball here. If there's one that you do not want to show, even though it is in that layout, you can just hit that eyeball and it will remove it, okay? It'll update this in just a second. Here we go. So you can always remove those. Next is featured properties. Now, it is very surface level what you can edit here. If you go into expert mode, you can add many, like you can adjust many more things than you can here. So just keep that in mind. But you can adjust your title, your description, the central point that those feature properties are pulling from, the radius that they are pulling within. You can adjust the price range, maximum and minimum. Again, hit that publish when you are all done. And then lastly, we have our testimonials here. For that section here within the command, you can only adjust the title and the description. In expert mode, you can also adjust which ones are pulling. You can add ones, and we'll try and take a look at that before the end of class. Once you're done, hit that publish. Now, before we jump into our next section, I'm going to set this back to the search layout because that is the default. And for our next portion in expert mode, I'd like it to be on that. So we're going to go back. And the next thing I want to take a look at with you guys is going to be this add content button. Okay. If you want to create blogs, this is a very easy way to add blogs. You can come in here, hit add content and create a blog. You can add the background photo, the headline, the subheadline, and you can create the entire text of that blog. If you are looking to make a more robust blog, you can do that in expert mode as well. You can add photos that way and additional things that you cannot be added here. Okay, so this is just for a beginner, but that will add it to your website. Moving down, the last thing we're going to cover here in this section before we hop over to expert mode is the design studio. Leslie, stats will only appear depending on the layout that you're under. So if you're on the search layout, it does not have stats. So the design studio is where you can customize some of the colors that pull. As you can see, Scott's right now has green up at the top. I want to point out that the squares on the photos are sharp and the sharp corners. The text is a little different. So if you're looking to make any of those changes, that can be done here in the design studio. We can go ahead and select a theme. This is where we can then change the color of our website. I think we're currently under this mint green, but if we want to change that to maybe this light one here, we can also change the font. Let's go with this one. And then we have the square photos. Let's go ahead and change that to a pill shape. And we're going to hit Save Changes and Publish. And once that publishes, I'm going to view it in the browser. And as you can see, my site looks very different now, okay? It's got gray at the top. It's got those rounded edges of the photos all the way through. It's going to have them even down here. The boxes are rounded. So it's going to change that throughout the entire website, okay? The text is different. And you can change this as many times as you want. You can come in here and change it again. Let's go ahead and do this one. Always hit publish once you're done so you can take a look at it. I don't think it's saved just yet. Let's try that again. Well, it should be more red than it is. Try one more time. All right, well, Some of the colors may not be working right now. Hopefully KW is working on that. All of those colors should be working and adjusting as you're changing it. So you should be able to see those changes immediately. And like I said, you can usually change this as many times as you'd like. I'm wondering if some of the older colors may not be working. Okay. If you are running into issues with that saving and updating, you can always reach out to us. We can submit a ticket to support for you if you'd like. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But that is your design studio, okay? The next thing we want to take a look at is we're going to hop into that expert mode. Now I already opened it and we are right here. Before we jump into any edits to this, we want to make sure we're on the correct website, okay? If you are an agent that has access to Command MC, if you're an agent that is on a team, you may or may not have access to the office website. You may or may not have access to the team website. But if you do, you want to make sure you're not making changes to that website by accident. So you want to make sure whatever website you are looking to make changes to is the website that is listed here. If you have access to multiple websites, you can toggle between those by clicking on your name or the team or office up here in the top banner. If you have access to multiple sites, you'll be able to see all of the sites and you can change to the site you're looking for, okay? So just make sure whatever site you're trying to edit is the one that is here. All right, first things first, we're going to take a look at these default pages, but before we do that, I want to look at the home page with you, okay? So we're going to come down and find that, and I apologize, ours is probably way crazier than yours is, hopefully. So let me find this. There we go. So you want to find your custom homepage, okay? Now, if you are in the search layout like we are, yours should say search. If you are in one of those other layouts that were available, you will see one of those. It should say hero or brand, okay? Since ours is search, we're seeing that. So I'm going to go ahead and click into that page and take a look at some of the edits that we can make there. So you'll see what page you are on up here. No matter what you are creating, it's going to let you know what you're doing right here. Oh, look, it looks like our website did update. Maybe it just took a second. You'll have your page title. This is internal. It's just for you. Moving down, you're going to see the contents of your page. Similar to what we were looking at here under the homepage. Sorry, I'm bouncing around. Similar to the sections you're seeing here, you will see all of those here. You'll have a couple more. First one is your the top, your home page, the hero image. You can adjust, again, that title. You can adjust the video or the images if you want to upload that. If you want to add photos, you can come here for that. It should have about 4 or 5 custom or photos that are defaulted. These here, 3, I'm sorry. You'll see those kind of switching through on your website. So they will shuffle through those. But you can change to a video and upload. You have options to hide the title. If you want that removed, you can toggle that on or off. If you want to change that search feature, you can do a custom button. You can remove it. You can hide the rent option. So it says buy or rent. You can turn that rent off if that's not something you deal with. Once you're done with this section up at the top, your banner, you can close that up and go into your featured properties, okay? Now, you can change the layout of this. There are 2 options. You have the carousel or the grid. It's currently on carousel where we can shuffle through those side by side. The grid is going to switch that up a little bit. And anytime you see your eyeball spinning, it's just letting you know that it is trying to update your preview. So the grid is going to be more like this. It's going to be a 2x3. You can still shuffle through and look at additional properties, but just select whichever one you prefer. You can change the title. Currently, it says featured properties title. I'm not sure why it says that, but we'll change it. Check out my featured properties. You can change the listings that pull. Okay, so this is where you can get a lot more detailed than you could in the last section. You can do the dynamic and the central location. You can show properties only in your state, province. Um, you can adjust the max display, the radius, how you want the listings sorted. If you want to pin specific listings, maybe you want your listings or a specific listing to always show first. You can come in here and do that. You're just going to search by the address or the MLS number. Um, let's just type one in. It will pull any active listing in the MLS and you can go ahead and add that. It's going to put that in the very front spot of your featured properties. Okay. We'll give it a second to load. There it is. Now, if you added one by accident or you want to remove one, you just hit that little minus sign, okay? You can always add new and you can always remove. Now, there are other options. If you wanted to always pull your listings first, you can toggle that on. If you wanted to pull your brokerage or market center listings first, you can also toggle that on. Moving down, you can set listing categories for those that you'd like to pull, the status, uh, the other statuses here, you have property types. If you want to adjust any of these other specifics for the properties that are pulling, you can. If you want to pull properties with keywords, maybe you only want properties to show that have a pool. Maybe you only want properties that have a garage. You can add any of those keywords and it will look for listings that have those specific items. Okay, now I'm going to remove those. Once you're done with that, we can go ahead and close this featured properties section up and move to our testimonials. Now, once we're in our testimonials, you'll see that we can come here and adjust our title, our description. We can adjust the sorting, so oldest to newest, newest to oldest, max number to display, filtering if we want to pull them based on star rating or city, etc. You can add testimonials here. If someone went onto your website and submitted a testimonial, you can click add and you will find it here. Okay. It doesn't notify you, unfortunately, when someone submits a testimonial, but every website comes with a leave a review option. Okay. I think Scott's got removed, but every website should come with a leave a review and they can submit those. And as soon as they are submitted, you can come here and find them. And then you just select them. You also have the option to create new. So maybe someone submitted one on a Google page or your Facebook, and you want to also include that. You can come here and hit create new. You can put in the star rating. You can put in their review. I'm just going to put great to make it simple. Scott. Client since, this is required, so you'll need to include this. We'll just pick a random day. Those are the only things that are required, the star rating, the review, the name, and the client since. You can, of course, add these additional information if you want to. Once you're done, you can go ahead and publish that. And we're going to go back. Oh, our website's kind of working a little slow here. There goes published. Once we do that, we can come here and it should be the top one. There we go. And we can go ahead and add that and it will appear in our featured testimonials. And you can adjust those if you want to move them around. You can do that as well. I'm going to go ahead and remove those. And we're going to close this section up. Now, before I go to blog, I want to also show that you can move any of these sections. So if you want the blogs to be first, the testimonials to be first, featured properties, you can adjust those, unlike what you could do here in this section. Next is our blogs, though. This is where you can come and adjust the title, the description. You can also determine which blogs are pulling. You can create new. So if we go ahead and do add item, it's going to allow us to search any blogs that we've previously created and add them to our homepage. Okay, so you can come here and find those. You can also, if I move my little bar here, you can also hit new at the bottom. And this is going to allow you to create a new blog post, okay? So similar to what we could do in Command, we can create our title. You can add a photo if you'd like to appear there. Let's see if it will. You can do video too. And then you can search that and pull that in. We're going to just grab one of these. Let's just grab Gary Keller here. If you want to add a hyperlink to the image, when they click on that, it redirects. You can, your caption, credit, and then you can move down into your body. This is where you can type out your entire blog post. If you want to add photos, you can come in here and do that by adding the image. You can search the gallery or add new by uploading. So either way, and then that will add that into your blog body. So that's something you cannot do on the last in command if you're creating blog posts. You can also add tags. Once you are done creating the new blog, you can hit publish. We'll give it a second. I'm moving a little slow today here. There we go. It will always let you know once that has been published, you'll get a green banner, and then you can go back. From there, you'll find your new blog at the top, always at the top. You can go ahead and click that, and it's going to add it right here so that that will appear on the home page at the very top. Okay? We're going to go ahead and close this. Now, the next thing you're going to see is your contact form. That is at the very bottom of your site. This cannot be edited here in the website itself. You have to edit this in that profile we looked at the beginning of the class. So none of this can be customized, okay? We get questions on the opt-in verbiage. There's no way to edit any of that. So unfortunately, there's no changes that can be made there. Last, you have your market center details at the bottom. That's going to show the map and the office. If you don't want that to appear, you can turn it off. Same for your contact form. You can also add additional modules. We're not going over that today, but just note that is an option. Once you are done and satisfied with the changes, make sure you hit that publish button, okay? If you don't hit that publish, it's not going to update any of that, okay? And that's for everything. Now, I'm not going to save these changes today. We're going to go ahead and go back because we want to look at those other two pages before the end of class. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the KW, and I'm going to leave. Now, again, we want to take a look at these default pages. We have the blog list page and the about the agent, okay? We're going to do the blog list first. These shouldn't take too long, and then we should have time for any questions you guys have or any questions that I missed. The blog list page is your separate blog page. This is separate from the home page. So if you want to have additional blogs on this that are not featured on the home page, you can. You can change your display name, which is right here. You can change your page heading. If you want to change out that photo for that banner, you can do that right here. You can upload a photo, add image. It will add that new photo. You can also hide this section if you'd like. That is optional. Moving down, you have your blogs, okay? So you have the title, take it from our expert. You have the description, and then you have all of your different blogs that are polling, okay? So you can adjust the types, you can adjust the publish date, how many you want to display, but then you can come in here and add whatever ones you want to show. You can also remove any ones that you do not want to show. You can shuffle those around, whatever you'd like to do here. Adding item is going to give you the same options as it did when we were on the featured blogs. You can pull in your recently created one. You can create a new one. So you have all of those options right here. Okay. That again is your separate blog page. Now I'm going to go back. We're not going to save this. And our last page we're going to take a look at is this about the agent. Okay. So we're going to click on that one. And this is your About Me section, okay? So we have the agent profile section. This is if you want to hide it or display it. That's up to you. You can come in here and adjust that. You can change the title. As you can see, it says About Scott. You can change that. If you want to take a look at your service areas and display or hide those, you can do that here. Details. Again, you can only change the title of it. You can't change the information. That's pulling from your profile. You can, however, change your preferred vendors. So this is one thing we haven't taken a look at just yet. To adjust your preferred vendors, you're going to click this little link right here. It's a little hard to see, but it says click this link. We're going to click on that. It's going to open a new page, new tab. Give it just a second. And this is going to open Move Easy, okay? So this is where you can come in and add your preferred vendors. You can edit ones that you've previously added or remove them. If you need to edit or delete, you can do that by clicking the three little dots. If you need to add a new vendor, you can click Add. You can put in their name. We're just going to click a random thing. We'll do Scott, support, phone number, vendor type. It will give you a bunch of options. You can select counties. We'll just pick one. If you have their logo or file you'd like to include, and then you go ahead and click Add Vendor. Okay, it will add them to your preferred vendors, and you'll see them listed here, just like these guys. Okay, you can also turn that off if you want to remove them. You can even toggle this on to show any Market Center partners that have been added by your Market Center. Once you are done though, you just go ahead and hit save. Now, if we come back up here, I do want to point out one last thing. Any of these can be rearranged. So if you want any of this to show first, you can drag those and rearrange them. Okay. All righty. That is everything I want to cover with you guys today for setting up and getting started with your website. I'm going to stick around for questions. If you have any, feel free to drop those in the chat. If you don't have questions and want to hop off, feel free to do so. Thank you for coming. Hope this was helpful. Those of you sticking around, drop your questions in the chat. If you don't have any right now and you come up with one later, you can always email our support team. Our email is support@scotlandmarketing.com. We're happy to help with whatever you've got going on. So feel free to reach out. I'm going to go ahead and stop record and go over any questions.